Hi everybody, thank you for being here. This message was received on the 17th of February 2025, although it's going to be relevant anytime you will receive it. This message was received for automated writing. We are the Pleiadians, Council of Light. We are here with you in these times, for some of you challenging, for some overwhelming. Some of you are thriving in areas of life, nonetheless a time of tremendous changes and transformation. The world as you know it will continue to transform, and you will see in the upcoming years the ups and downs of many systems, of several empires, we may say. What we want to share with you tonight is a word about peace. We want to reiterate that peace starts within you, that you, each of you, and all of you are creators. And by your own thoughts, belief, words, visualizations, actions, yes, even projections, or when your mind wanders throughout the day, you are always creating. So start from you and within you. Start noticing the words you speak to yourself, to your family, to your colleagues, or people in the street. Is there hatred, envy, impatience, judgment? Or is there tolerance, space, openness, flow, kindness, and peace? Notice how you receive words and behaviors from others. Notice even what you anticipate. For example, do you foresee someone betraying you, offending, rejecting, hurting you? Or do you expect or play out in your mind a scene of inclusiveness, of harmony and appreciation? Peace is built one single drop at a time, like the drops that form the ocean. I'll explain you after wider brackets. By learning to observe your internal thoughts and behavior, by noticing your word with raw honesty and awareness, you can start to reshape your reality and that around you. Remember, dear ones, you will be tested. That is the nature of things. So it is not sufficient for you to try once or 10 times. The more resistance, the longer you were in the negative state, the greater the shift toward the positive you'll have to make. Some people are able to shift instantly. Others take a lifetime or even more. It's about the quality of your frequency and vibrations combined with the purity of the intention. Start creating harmony within you. As you make up thoughts, projections, or vision, play with it in a way to create images and concept of peace, of unity, of collaborative solutions. Let go of labels or definitions. For example, it doesn't matter if one belongs to a party or another, liberal or labor, which gender, religion, or color of skin. Peace originates from unconditional love, and as such, treats all equals. What matters is the purity of the intention and, yes, actions. Learn to distinguish and discern what is in light and what isn't. Learn to develop your own ways to awaken your birthright skills and soul senses to all of that to discern. And keep creating a dialogue and a reality of more ease, joy, unity, resourcefulness, of light and love, dear ones. Not just romantic love, yet love as cosmic respect for each creation and the role that each of you holds in this collective interaction. Peace is achievable. Keep your frequency high no matter what. We love you, the Pleiadians. This message was received at night. It is not relevant, and I have no expectation towards people believing the source of this message. For those of you who are open to understand a little bit more how one skill that we have that we are forgetting about, but it's available for everyone, And I'll give you tangible examples that you may have already experienced, which is either telepathy, but also channeling, as in the ability to take in codes of frequency, explaining how things work. The more you are alert and awake and the more receptive to receive the messages, the better that come in. So for example, when you see someone going into trance channel and allowing the message to directly come forth, you may see the message maintains its full integrity as the vessel, the physical person, is sort of able to move aside. It doesn't go anywhere. You'll see the body speaking, but intentionally, the ego mind, the rational mind, is able to sit aside. Those of you who practice meditation may have a basic understanding of this, to allow the channel to go through. In a trance channeling, then the beings, this could be a soul, could be angels, in this case the Pleiadians. There are many people that you can find as an example. They would sort of borrow the truth and the voice of the person, of the vessel, to then communicate to the public. In automatic writing, the idea is similar. There's something in between done for voice, which is normal channeling, where you would still perceive the tonality, the pace, the voice, and the personality of the person as you know it, through their voice, through their throat, although they are not sharing words that they are making up in their minds. They're not sharing what they want to say. They're passing on that frequency that is received through the channeling. That requires even greater ability, but it goes faster. Automatic writing is sort of the step A before that to happen. Normally, that receiving antenna is more from the crown chakra, although you would need to have a flow through all the energy centers. And what is perceived is little frequency. I'm doing this intro every time to explain and allowing people to make a little bit more sense. So if you think, can you remember a time where someone was trying to contact you, or you were thinking about someone and you receive a message from that person? Or you're communicating to someone and later on in a conversation, you find out that person was actually thinking about you. So some people may think this is nonsense, and that's okay. Again, no expectation to convince anyone, but there's actually something that can be quite tested and you can actually try with friends or family members. There is that message, there is that frequency. Everything creates energy and vibration. And when we tune in, when we open that receptive antenna that we have, we may actually be able to capture and receive that impulse, that frequency, that insight, that is then translated into words. In this case, the frequency, the impulse when it comes in, is then transmuted into words. The more I'm awakened, say for example, I'm full of energy, but I'm rested, I was able to put my rational mind aside. So in that way, I'm a clear channel. I'm not tired, I'm good, I'm hydrated, I'm clear and focused, I'm in that peaceful state, then I am able to be a better channel. And the message can come in with more ease. At this point, I was more tired. So when the frequency was coming in, the signal coming in, it's funny in a way. And I'm sharing this with you also to those of you who do any type of hypnosis, past life regression, meditation, quantum healing hypnosis, channeling of the soul. This is all connected. So these are constructive pieces of the puzzle that may help you to make better sense of the whole experience and just be able to allow it to happen and then make sense later on. Also to then go back, revisit, apply discernment and distinguish what was more reliable, what were the part where your ego mind tried to glue together the pieces, and what were the parts where that was pure channeled. That it was not something that you had in an idea, it was not something that you made up. That is a message that was passed to you and at times through you if you were talking and channeling by voice. So sometimes things come as a concept. And then the process of me writing sometimes has in the beginning a few telepathical steps. It could be like in that fraction of a second, I perceive the impulse. I formulate 2 or 3 words, or sometimes just the words flow through. If it's not as clear, then it may be that signal. That signal is like a symbol. It's like a symbol in ancient language. Every symbol means a lot of things together. So if you wanted to decipher the meaning of it, you could not just associate one word with one symbol. That symbol may enclose a bigger concept. Make sense? So it is the same with this frequency. They may send an impulse, and there is the clear cognizance that they refer to something. There may be the clear audience that I actually hear the sound of the words they want me to use. At this point, I was quite tired. So in that impulse, I did my best with my ego to then render the frequency into a sentence. And what happened then is that there is a yes or no. And this is also the part that is both cute, funny, and such an interesting learning, because I would put together a sentence and then ask, is this what you want me to say? And then there could be a yes, rarely there's okay, no, then I would scrap it and re-clear my mind, re-clear the channel, allow that in. But at some point I was able to re-go back into that flow state with more clarity, and the hand just writes. Like, I don't have to think about what I want to write. It's that flow state where it's not me writing what I want to write. The hand just know what has to write. And my mind catch up with them writing as I'm writing it, which is a beautiful, fascinating process. So this has to do with the process. Final words on the message. This is a beautiful message of peace. I'm sure it would relate to anything that you have heard about, both with metaphysics, with manifestation, with meditation, with mindfulness. The laws of how things work are all the same. But I think this message is very powerful and is very special. And what we live as an individual then applies to the collective, and what we live as a collective then applies to the individual. So regardless of whether you think you can have the power to create peace starting from within yourself, why not to try? And surely at least improve the quality of your own life, of your own inner peace and serenity. It's absolutely true. If you're willing to try, and if this is something that you can try for free, no one is asking you any money, just in raw honesty and self-compassion and self-love of you being you with yourself, you can start by being honest and noticing your fault, noticing even that beautiful when they refer to the expectation of, like, if you say, for example, you have some relatives or a work manager that has some hostility towards you. So do you anticipate for the future? Do you anticipate that hostility? Do you play that in your mind when there is occasion to meet coming up? Or what happens if you try and actually play with it? Envision that there is more harmony, but you don't. That's also the trick. In that raw honesty, it's not just sufficient that you think about it and then come back to the state of feeling the hostility or feeling rejected or feeling at disharmony or discomfort. You need to feel it. You need to be honest also in that sense of, like, embrace that childhood playfulness, explore with fullness of the curiosity and the feeling of what it would be like if you actually have a positive experience, and if actually every time it gets a bit better. Maybe you have a better interaction, you're able to find an area of reciprocal respect, or you're able to find one area where you both agree, and the interaction starts to get a bit better, and so on. And so, like these, both the conversation and the feelings that you can create, you towards yourself, you towards people around you, it then snowballs into out in the community and out into the state and so on. I've surely experienced a complete transformation of what life used to be versus what life is now. And I'm so looking forward to hear from you in the comment. What is something that you tried where before it was in one way, and when you started giving it awareness, when you started getting honest with yourself and applying better changes, it got better? Let me know in the comment. I thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to see you in the next video.